Your turn.
Okay. Have you ever broken up with a friend, like a long-term friend,
Good question.
they no longer could take up space in your life?
Yes, good question. Yes, I have. Actually, yes, I have, to answer your question. But the reason we're not talking right now is actually because of her. But yeah, I was just hitting the personal development phase. I was probably like 28, 27, 28. I had been friends with her since I was 12. And she's super drama. Everything is a big deal. Boy problems, mom problems, family problems, work problems. And I was always the one that was trying to help, give advice, coach her this way, tell her to do this. And I'd spend hours and hours and hours and hours on the phone with her, trying to console her, trying to listen, there for her, and very rarely there for me. And she was there for me physically, like we would go out to dinner, this and that, but she wasn't there for me emotionally, which is totally different. But one day and this was a continuous thing where I'd spend 2 hours on the phone with her on a Friday. I'd give her advice. She's asking for my advice. I'd give her advice. Saturday, she'd call me up doing the exact opposite of what I advised her to do. And now she has a whole new problem. And this was like a continuous thing that she just kept having issues with all the time. It's just a total waste of my time. I was trying to, at that point, build what is now my company, Human Better 365. At that point, it was called pureaspirations.net. And getting into personal development, and I was huge into health and fitness, and I was creating workout plans for people and diet plans for people, and helping people view life differently. And my best friend was just going off the rails like every other day. So one day something like that similar happened, where she just like didn't do what I had advised her to do, and her life was just going this way. And I literally flipped out on her. I literally flipped out on her on the phone. And I was like, this is not working for me anymore. I'm not interested in this. I'm like, I'm trying to better my life, and I'm reading these books, and I'm learning about finance and health and fitness and mental and emotional strengths. And everything that I'm learning, I'm trying to spoon feed to you, like, nicely,
Yeah.
not as like a teacher, like you must do this, but as like a good friend. And you're just not interested. And I look like an idiot, because I am embracing these women and trying to help them. Meanwhile, my best friend, who's on my Facebook constantly, if you go to her Facebook, because she was on my Facebook so much, she's a mess. Like all of her freaking posts are just super traumatic and negative, and just shaming, just shameful, just sad. And so I told her I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I said, I don't want to talk to you anymore until you get your life back together again. Literally, this is our last phone call. I'm not speaking to you ever again. And she was crying. It was this whole thing. We didn't talk for probably like 2 months. And she called a couple times here and there. Finally, like 2 months later, I picked up the phone. She apologized. She cried. She's like, I came up with a game plan, and, I want you to review it and go over it and all this stuff. So we met up, and we wound up being friends again for probably another 4 years. And then just the same. She was the same. She didn't change. And a whole thing happened with her wedding, where I didn't take 2 of her phone calls. She called me 2 times in a row, and I was with another friend helping her move. And I knew I was going to be spending time with her the next day to help her with her wedding. And like 2 or 3 hours went by. I texted her back and no reply. And then just on Facebook regularly, went to go see what she was doing or something. I was blocked. So she cut me off because I didn't because I didn't take her phone call for real. And she got married. I was her maid of honor. And what I found out afterwards was she, now looking back, it was a codependent relationship. So empath, high narcissistic qualities. She wasn't like I would feel bad if she was listening to this, calling her that, but just extremely self-absorbed. Everything was about her, pathological liar. Um, you know, she had some good traits. I mean, I was friends with her for a really long time, but extremely like energy, stealer, just steals everything you have from you. You get off the phone with her, you're just absolutely exhausted. Um, so yeah, and she's reached out to me 3 times since then over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I don't even know how long it's been now. And yeah, I won't even touch it anymore. I just ignore.
Let me ask you this. When that day happened and she blocked you, did you feel a sense of relief?
Yes.
Feel like you now have permission to let this go and you were luckily not the one to cause the problem?
Yep. I actually called my mom. I was like, oh my gosh. I felt bad. I felt bad for her. But yeah, I didn't even dwell on it. Like I saw she blocked me. I think I texted her one time telling her that she was being silly and she didn't respond. And I never called and never texted her ever again. I just texted her once saying like, hey, this is dumb. She didn't respond. That was it. I never reached out again. She's reached out, but yeah, I have no regrets. No regrets. Like I feel the stuff that I've accomplished in my life, I've accomplished because I have the time. If I would have still been friends with her, my time literally would have been cut in half. And I'm not even exaggerating. I would be halfway in my life, financially and as far as prosperity goes, than where I am now if I had still had her in my life, because that's how much time she took up.
Wow.
Yeah, not even exaggerating. Yeah. So I feel lucky. But I've had a lot of those in my life.
Do you know where she is in life? Like, has she her act together, or is she still?
Yeah, she's when she messaged me, she kind of cues me in. But I don't, like obviously she got married. She didn't tell me about that because that was recent. But then she had a child. She sent me a picture of her child. I think I said congrats. That was it. Then she had another child like 2 years later. And we have similar friends. So we both grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. And so we have interlinking friends that will say stuff everyone, like, are you still friends? Because we were the friendship, like we were the thing, growing up in our circle that we were inseparable. And, so I know what she's doing, but I also know, even though on camera, it looks good. I know it's a mess. I just know it's a mess. And I know that when she's reaching out to me, it's because something crazy is happening and she has nobody else to talk to. So she's hoping that like I'll yank on the,
don't do it.
On the bait so that she can, vomit all over me. But I already know those tricks. I know the tricks now. So they don't work on me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. That was a good question.
Thank you. I put a lot of thought into the questions because I don't know. I wanted to do something different and things that that I was thinking about in my own life that I think that you have such a cool outlook on things, and so just to get your view on them is really kind of cool.
100%. I've had a lot of girlfriends who have high narcissistic traits, though. I have, it's very dysfunctional, but it's because I'm like so compassionate. Like I'm the one that like goes to them and I drop everything for them and I'm listening to them. So people take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You know?
totally. And it takes your energy, like it sucks your energy so much.
Yep.
Ugh, yeah.
Yep. I can totally relate and I totally appreciate that you know, what you said with your husband now as far as um, you know, taking care of a task and then being able to take all the negatives that happen with it and then not necessarily saying, hey, I took care of that task, but then giving you the commentary for the week of all of the drama that entailed to take care of the task. Not that you won't mention it, but like that's it's like such a relief because that's what I dealt with so much. It's like I get constant play-by-plays in my life of like all
Yeah.
the stuff that's happening to like get to the point of where we're supposed to go with friendships, with relationships. And it's like, just do the thing, just do the thing, and then everything will work out.
Right. And if you think, and there's lots of like drama and issues surrounding it, to make more time, to take more time away from life to rehash the entire thing is
Thank you.
It's not productive at all.
Exactly, exactly. Like it's fun to do, you know, like maybe months later over, you know, over dinner or something if it gets hush hush, like, hey, by the way. But just like a constant, it's like I just dealt with all of my anything that you do in life entails drama.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait on customer service for 3 hours in order to, that's normal. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do a commentary on that to explain all of the things because I also was the manager of my stuff and my stuff also had drama with it.
Right.
So it's like if we both just talk, do the stuff,
right,
and then talk about the drama, that extra time could have been used to move forward in your life to do something else.
Yeah, we go as so far as to leave the room if we're going to make a phone call regarding it, so the other person doesn't have to listen to the drama of the phone call.
Dude, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's one of the awesome things about, not to say that, you know, people should get divorced or what have you, but you learn so much.
Oh my gosh, you go. The second time around is so different. Like everything that I've learned.
As long as you are learning from it and then applying what you learned, you know, there's lots of people that continue to do the same thing over and over. But
yeah.
If you know, do like what you're saying, where you're like, I was going for the exact opposite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And even with my son, like I have no agenda. I don't talk about girls with him. I don't do anything because like you have your whole freaking life. There shouldn't be pressure to like do relationships so young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like mess up like lots of times. And then, you know, in your 30s, when you've already gone through a bunch of stuff, you're just a better person usually.
Yeah, we hope we have 4 kids between us, and we hope that they all wait that until they're in their 30s to get married.
100%. Is your husband, was he married before?
Yes, he was married, 2 kids. Yeah, for a very long time.
Wow. Where did you find him, by the way? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Online. One of the
same.
Yeah.
You were on a dating app.
I was. How about you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
The one of the worst ones. Which dating app? Do you want to say?
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah, so that's just yeah, we were Plenty of Fish.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't go on that one. But I didn't have time to like date the normal. I guess dating apps are the normal way now, but I could really vet the people that I was talking to.
Totally.
I mean, as best as you can. People lie, obviously, but I was just like, yeah, I was looking for a certain kind of person. I was not going to talk to anybody, no matter how cute they are or how nice they are, if they did not meet certain criteria. I was just
100%. I did it the same exact way, girl, for real. I'm so glad that you're saying that because, you know, I'm in the narcissistic rooms a lot for Facebook. And so many women are like, men suck, dating apps suck. All the narcissists are on dating apps. I'm like, girl, I freaking found a great man.
I know. All the guys that I dated for the most part, and I didn't date a lot, but they were also nice. I
Yes.
mean that nobody can find anybody on a dating app. Like there's all kinds of men, and I made sure that I did it for older than me because a lot of times they're a little more mature.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were out of bad relationships, like divorced and ready to settle down with somebody. So I don't know. I found a lot of good ones, but I was so picky about things. But also we talked about it before. You and I were happy alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that we weren't, trying to go find a man unless they enhanced our lives
Yeah.
totally. So
100%. 100%. I totally love that you're saying that though, because they are out there. You just have to set boundaries and, and be picky, and don't send nudes, don't accept nudes, block as soon as any funny business happens, and you'll find the good ones. And I had the same thing, same exact as you. Anytime anybody asks, I'm like, I had a great experience on the dating app. I had so much fun.
same.
Yeah, I had so much fun. There was absolutely nothing weird or frightening or anything that happened. There was one guy that lied about his weight really badly, but it was like funny. It wasn't like I wasn't like offended. I still sat with him and, had a little drink or whatever we had, coffee. I don't even remember where. I think we went to a smoothie bar. But but that was the only, you know, like it was something was unfortunate. That would have been the only one, but he was still very nice.